Accepting change in life is never easy, especially when it comes to things like your career and relationships. And boy, do I have some updates to share with everyone today. Hey everybody, Wyler here, and today I'm going to talk about some major updates in my life regarding my career, relationship, and just life in general. I want to talk about what I've been thinking about, why it's going to be difficult, and why it's important to accept change as a constant in life in order to grow and get better. This is basically just a heartfelt video about just some updates from a guy who lives in the past and struggles to accept change in my life. So I hope you enjoy it. And for the first time in a while, I'll have an MW2 gameplay with the classic tactical nuke to maximize the feels and nostalgia. Okay? Is that okay for everyone? Let's get it right into it. First, the story of how I got to this point. In the last few years of my life, I felt overall like I was doing okay on paper. I had a good job, good people in my life, and a great life in the state I grew up in. I'd call it a very simple life. I had a comfortable job that paid well, and I was living in my parents' basement off and on again throughout my 20s. But about 2 years ago, I started feeling like something was just missing. I would say I was feeling kind of unfulfilled from both a dating and career perspective. I was very comfortable, but I wasn't really pushing my limits to do new things or challenge myself in unique ways. I tried a lot of dating in the big city of Milwaukee. I downloaded the apps, attended like as many social events as I could find, and went on a lot of dates that didn't go anywhere. And it kind of felt like a soulless and draining process. And this became frustrating for me, as I really want to find the right person to, as I was watching a lot of my friends settle down around me, and I want that kind of life for myself. And then with my career, I worked my ass off to land a job at a big company that was making good money, and at times I enjoyed it a lot. But I got to that kind of point where, right when I got what I wanted, something just felt off deep down. It felt like I was only doing the job for money and kind of disregarding any sense of meaning or purpose in my life. The 9 to 5 grind of corporate America totally got to me, and I fell into a cycle with little adventure and just kind of going through the day-to-day motions without much passion. I'd forgotten what it was like to feel like passionate about something. And I was going through my 20s crisis that I speak so much about on this channel, and this really was hitting me hard about 2 years ago. And in the midst of these feelings and my existential crisis, you could say, things were shaken up in the best way possible. I met a girl while on vacation who challenged my whole way of thinking. She challenged me to get out of my comfort zone, be a better person, and be a stronger man. And since meeting her, I've expanded my horizons, traveled to many different places with her. She's not from my country, which has opened the doors to just so many beautiful places in the world for me. And just seeing and learning about different cultures of the world is something that I was totally missing in my life. Years ago, I basically refused to leave Wisconsin. And in the last year and a half, I've just been to so many cool places I never envisioned I'd go. Very quickly, I couldn't envision not pursuing her. But the big problem with our relationship is that it was based around my constant traveling. This is due to reasons I'll get into in another time, and I'm lucky enough to have the ability and means to travel due to my career, but it was becoming difficult and draining for me to maintain this level of traveling all the time, and it was becoming expensive as well. Which brings me back to my decision. I made the extremely difficult decision to leave my stable 9 to 5 job in software engineering and move away from my lifelong home to be closer to her. There's a lot to unpack here that I can cover in future videos, but once I decided to do this, I've basically been working towards a plan to be financially stable, to be able to take a risk like this so I could start my own business and work on my own creative endeavors. Even though I'll have significantly less money than I have been making, I feel more alive than ever. I have limited responsibilities, so it feels like the perfect time for me to do something like this. And counter to what many people would think, overall I have positive things to say about my 9 to 5 in corporate America. It gave me the skills, the connections, the money I needed to take a risk like this. And it happened to be that I was just not very happy with the specific work and projects I was doing anymore. And maybe I'll return to it someday. It's hard to say, because I do still have a passion for computer science, and I hope to work on projects that align more with my interests in the future, even if it means making less money. A big part of my 20s crisis was that I thought that my passion for things was dead. But after meeting the right person, finding YouTube, and trying many other things, it's back, and I couldn't be more excited. Passion isn't just a luxury. I've learned it's a necessity. It gives purpose and even meaning to the hard times. Meeting someone who encouraged me to go after it has been eye-opening, and it's something I want everyone to experience. Life's all about taking these calculated risks, and I'm taking the biggest risk of my life here. I don't view this as reckless as I'm sure many people would, and I've got a lot of people in my life giving me feedback on this, you could say. But I would say I'm betting on myself. I'm not sure where this journey is going to take me, but I need to take it. It's finally time, and I need to go for it. Go for the life, the adventure that I've always dreamed of. To be with the girl, to have the freedom to travel and work on projects that interest me. It took a lot of preparation and planning and blood, sweat, and tears to get to this point where I can do something like this. I don't take that for granted. I'll make videos in the future on how I was able to position myself financially to do something like this, as there are a lot of moving parts for this. So what do I hope to accomplish with this adventure? Number one, I want to grow in my relationship because it's my goal to have a family and be in a happy and healthy relationship. And I'm thrilled to be making this next step where it's easier. We can have a little bit more of a normal relationship without a lot of the stress. I want to become more physically fit. I've been neglecting the gym with work being so busy, and it's just so easy to skip workouts. So I want to dive back in and hope I can get in really good shape again with running and lifting as well. I also want to take a step back in my career and find, like, what do I want to do? What projects do I want to take on? What area of computer science do I like? And what does my career look like? I also, and get this, I want to work more on YouTube, which I'm really excited about that because now I'll be able to be more consistent, higher quality uploads, and maybe make some more longer form kind of documentary type videos that I've always wanted to work on. I also want to see the world, do some travel, Europe, Latin America, Asia, and finally, and another really important one, to grow in faith and return thinking about God and my purpose here and how I can improve myself to make the biggest impact on the world that I can. I've always been stuck in the past. I'm a pretty nostalgic guy, as you know, and you don't know how hard it was for me to make the decision to leave this comfortable life here in America. I bleed this state, the state of Wisconsin, and I bleed America, and so it'll be a tough challenge for me. There's just something about the familiar. Morning coffees with parents, the Packers playing on Sundays, friends living close by, my dogs and cats sitting on my lap while I'm working, and family stuff and Wisconsin winters, and it just feels like home to me. It's hard to let go of a lot of those comforts, but you never know what lies on the other side of change. If you're going through major changes in life, you have to do it, you have to accept it. You have to work forward, and know that I'm with you. Doing uncomfortable things, it's something I understand what it's like, and growth comes from these new things and being uncomfortable. At the end of the day, I've accepted this too. Life is short. We only get one shot at this thing, so we gotta go for it. I'd be lying if I said I wasn't scared. Some days I wonder if I'm making a mistake by leaving this job or if I'm doing the right things. But I'm starting to see that life doesn't come with guarantees, and that's what makes it meaningful. Maybe I'll look back at this time as a complete failure with many lessons to learn. Maybe not. Maybe it could be the greatest and most important thing I've ever done and be a crucial decision to accomplish what I want out of life. Only time will tell. Many excitements and fears run through my mind, but I can't focus on that. I don't want to be an old man sitting there, unable to do what I'm capable of doing now, saying, what if? Regret is worse than not trying. I'll leave you with this. If there's something that you keep thinking about, some big change that you know you want to make, maybe it's time to take that first step. You might be surprised where it leads. And I'm here with you along the way. Thank you for listening all the way to the end. You're the real MVPs if you got this far, and thanks for helping me reignite my passion and being with me on my journey. Your comments and kind words provide fuel for my day. So I'm feeling comfortable to share this with you guys and just support it in this endeavor. So thank you. There's much more to come. Peace out, and Tactical Nuke incoming.
Nuke!